Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kinda Latvian episode 3 of the podcast. And we're on a little different format here. We're trying something new through Zoom, which I'm guessing this year everyone is a little more familiar with than usual. But Joe, it's been a while. It's what's been happening. How you been?
Yeah, been good. I think kind of like you, just been in camps. I had a little vacation in July, so obviously celebrating the Latvia's gold medal the other day. That
Oh
was
yeah.
kind of. Did you watch it live or you
I
watched it
didn't watch
later?
it live. I saw the highlights. Actually, I was out and I heard just screams coming from like different parts of the city. I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh, how cool is that?" Then I
yeah.
knew I knew what happened. Did you watch it live?
No, I was working, so
Ah,
so so like Anna was texting me when it was going on and she was crying and stuff. So but the weird
yeah.
thing is actually I played with one of the guys years ago. I was already
Oh,
I was already a garbage player at that point, but yeah, he so it's like weird. I played with that guy and then seeing him on the Olympics winning it.
which one was it? Which
Nauris, he was like
okay.
so I think he was good back then, and it was just weird. Next time I see him, he's in the Olympics. So
Joe's claim to fame going on right here. But I think
no, yeah,
you'll be at the parade when they all come. Now he's remember me?
yeah. So
Yeah. No,
how about
that's
you?
cool though. That's really cool. I
Yeah,
No, I think what I loved about those guys were they were just like normal guys. Like watching their interviews and stuff, and they were,
for
they're.
sure.
I think one of them were like, "Oh yeah, from ghetto games to the Olympics," and it sounded
Yep,
pretty much that was it.
yep,
What an achievement for Latvia! Great
yeah.
stuff.
Crazy. So I was thinking that too. What if that ghetto games never took off and like they wouldn't have they wouldn't have won a gold medal? It's pretty incredible. So,
Yeah, unreal. Great achievement.
anyways, but how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm doing well as well. Just busy with summer camps and got some more coming up, so preparing for those. But no, it's been good. It's been the summer here has been great. The weather's been great, and some good times at some different camps. But
Mm,
here we are again.
yep,
Here we are
we're
getting
back
another
at it.
podcast. Yeah, yeah, and I just want to say thanks to everyone who's been continuing to listen to us and are reaching out with new ideas or even
Mhm.
just little encouragements. It's really cool to hear for us and gives us a little extra boost to keep on rolling out the content.
Yeah.
But today's theme is a little like I know we had a little discussion about Joe and it's a little different. Maybe you're not so much into it as you know. It's something that I've learned whilst living in Latvia, and
Mhm.
that's the car culture here. And even that sounds a little strange, but I think Latvia has legit hardcore car culture.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. You've experienced it a lot more than probably I have. So,
Yeah, yeah. But I, you've how long have you been in Latvia again, Joe? Sorry, yeah,
November will be 14 years. So,
right, right. So you must have had some car experiences
yeah.
since over those years. Like,
Yeah.
what's your car history been like in Latvia?
Yeah. So actually, yeah, when you're asking that, I was remembering I didn't know how to drive like manual when I moved here. So I
Get
had
out
just,
here.
yeah. So when I first moved here, I didn't even have a car. So there
Right.
was like a year or two, maybe three, I don't know. I would just like get rides with people and
You were that guy, yeah?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and poor my roommate Fletch was like an angel. He drove me around, and like the breaking point was my family. My parents came here to visit, and he was like driving us around. I was like, Joe, like you got to learn, man.
Right.
There's no
Yeah.
excuse for this. So so yeah, I learned stick. Actually, Fletch is the one that taught me. He took me to like the Elcor Center here and like parking lot, and just showed me, and I was like, all right, let's go. So so yeah, then I went looking for a car, asked around, had a friend who knew a guy who sold cars. I got the foreigner discount, like jacked up the price for me.
Thank you very much. I'll take that.
Yeah. So I had a Mazda, I think it was 626 or something like that. It was yeah, it was a great car. Even though I paid a little more than I needed to, it was a great car.
Yeah.
So started with that. My main thing was like it has a good like CD player and sound system.
Boy.
That's like that's priority number one. Not gas emissions or anything like that. It's like, does it sound good playing music?
Right.
So that was a good car.
The bass was sufficient. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it sounded great. So, and then I lent my car to a teammate, and I was trying to think about why for some reason we switched cars, and he needed to drive to Estonia to submit paperwork for residency, which thankfully you don't need to do that anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they drove, I think it was to Tallinn at that time. Yeah, they drove up there to submit papers, and on the way back, he fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh boy.
Drove off the road into a field, and thankfully, yeah, I mean, there was 4 people in the car. No one was hurt.
Oh, crazy.
I was actually like proud of myself, because when he called me and told me, I was like, I didn't care about the car. Like,
that's good of you, Joe. Yeah.
That would have been sad if that was the first thing I thought about, is what about the car?
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, so that totaled that car. He gave me the value, the money, same amount of money to buy a new car. I bought a BMW.
Oh boy.
What do you know about that?
That's a straight street cred right off the bat. That's
So, and it was a lemon. It was just a car you just have to constantly dump money into. And but it was legit. Yeah, it was fun to drive. It felt really nice.
Do you remember what it was?
318, is that a thing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's something about BMWs. It does feel cool to drive. And then just got tired of dumping money into it. Right. And then actually we went some time married without a car too. I think about 2 years, just kind of to save money. Parking in Riga is not the best, so so we did some time without a car, and then we had a kid on the way, and so we bought an Audi A6.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So you broke the golden rule of choosing either BMW or Audi. You played with both sides. Yeah.
So I had my rebellious years. I'll call them those, when I was like doing turns, out of control turns and things like that. But with
out of control turns.
Well, like when you like go around the corner and put in the clutch, and it like your tires just drift. Like you're
talking, it's called drifting, Joe.
What? That's the thing. Out of
control turn. Use it. What a dad phrase. Hey, I'm going to do some out of control turns tonight.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I don't know the terminology, but that's not a good car with a newborn. So
no, yeah. So those were your rebellious years, yeah?
Yeah, those were the rebellious years, probably when we met. And then I matured a little bit, and I thought, what's a good, safe family car? And we went with an Audi. So
okay, so that was your choice to switch to the Audi.
Yep, and it's been a great car, very reasonable repairs, and 20 years old, but it's been great. So,
good family car. You've settled down.
Yeah, and I need space too. So I need like a longer car where, I'm not like all scrunched up into it. But yeah,
right.
tell me about your car history.
My
What's going
car
on
history.
in
Well,
Latvia?
this is a weird one. Is actually I think you're to blame for my BMW. There's a couple people to blame actually, and you're one of them.
Okay.
The other one is in Scotland. But I
Shout outs
remember,
to Scotland.
shout out to I think Jeremy Jones. He got
Oh,
me.
nice.
Yeah, he had a nice BMW, yeah, which was fun to drive with him as a kid. Let's put it that way. But
Hmm.
and then I remember one October. I think it was probably my third trip to Latvia or something. Maybe I lied. I don't know. You picked me up at the airport in your BMW. I remember you rolling up in it. I was like, oh, here we go. And I climbed in, and obviously, like you said, there's something about driving BMWs that are just,
Yeah.
you're at one with the road. You're just you feel, I don't know, you like you're floating. But yeah, then we were
Tell me
driving,
more. What do you feel when you drive a BMW? You feel
just
one with the
just
road. What
just
else?
connection. Just you also feel like you are
You feel
in.
powerful.
I think powerful, maybe more in control. Like you're in control of the car.
Okay.
Like there's some connection. This is getting a bit weird, but some connection with the car that you're like, okay, you can control it well. I don't
Wow.
know.
So
Yeah,
you feel connected with your BMW is what you're
that's
saying.
yeah.
Okay.
I guess you could say that.
Great.
Anyway, so we were driving. I don't know if you remember this, but we were driving back to your place, and we got like laser tagged. Like there was this red bright laser that pretty much blinded you. I remember you'd be like, "Oh my eyes" or something. I was like, and we couldn't figure out what it was. We thought maybe it was a speed radar or something,
Mm-hmm.
but that was just outside of Riga, going into Riga.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think you're to blame for my BMW. Like you said, I'm probably still in my immature days, still driving the BMWs, but
No, it's great to have a BMW. I was joking about that, but yeah.
you've lost like half of our followers who drive BMWs, but that's okay.
No.
No, it was funny. My first one was so it was on my gap year. No, sorry, I lie. It was on my third year of university when I was in Latvia.
Hmm.
I picked up a 500 euro. Uh, yeah, it was a E36 318 also.
Okay.
And this thing was awful. Like it
Yeah.
was a rust bucket.
Yeah.
I had to like crack a window every time like we were driving because the gas fumes were just coming in.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, nothing worked. Like all the doors, you couldn't lock the doors. You had to do it all by hand.
Mm.
The boot, the trunk, the boot, it didn't close. I had to tie it down with a rope, and you'd have to climb through the car to open it.
Oh
It was
gosh.
just a lot of fun. Like it was crazy. It
Yeah.
was I remember I took it to the service one time, and they were like, "How did this make it through the technical
Yeah.
abscat of
Yeah.
the MOT, I guess they call it?" And oh, so I don't know, but so that was a load of fun. But that was one of those cars where I knew I was only here for what 3 or 4 months. Like when I bought it, I had 3 or 4 months left,
Yeah.
and I thought, let's just have fun, not worry about it.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience. Loved it. Yeah, loved it. A lot of good times, a lot of good memories, and that. Then the
Did it
second,
did it come with these gamer headphones, or when did those?
yeah,
Did
this
it? It's like a package deal.
the back. Oh,
Is there a
yeah,
connection between gaming and BMWs?
maybe
That would be a
it,
nice study to do. I want to
again
know some
these
stats.
stats fact check. Get some fact checks on this. I think it's my just immature days. Now, but saying that, I couldn't find any other headphones or like or or yeah, headphones with mics, and this is all I could find. So I guess I'm gonna have to.
We're everyone's happy that you're wearing it. I think
I get.
it
I guess
fits.
I'm gonna have to be like Mickey Mouse or something going on here. Like it's awful, but yeah. So
Sorry, you were
I'm glad
saying
you brought that up. Yeah,
first car.
first car. That was that. Her name was Katusha. I don't know. Do you name your cars?
Again, there was a time when I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what were your two did you name the Mazda?
Don't remember.
No.
I don't think like I think I referred to him as she's sometime, but I don't know
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
gave him like full names. So,
Okay, okay.
but tell me more about your.
So I got into naming my cars, which so I my first one was Katyusha, which is it was a Russian missile tank or something back in the day. And I
Okay.
thought it went well with the rust bucket that she was, and
Yeah.
she looked fierce.
Yeah.
She had this like carbon fiber sticker like over the hood of the car, the roof of the car, and the back. And it was
Mm.
all peeling off and stuff, but it looked
Wow.
fierce. It was pretty fierce.
Hmm.
And then yeah, got rid of her. And then when I moved to Latvia, I got my next one. I also went with a BMW E36 318. And this, oh, she was a good one. I called her Nadezhda, which means hope in Russian.
Wow.
Because every time I turned the key, I hoped that she started, and it was a nightmare. And this is funny. I bought it from like it was like an older lady and her daughter. It was her daughter's car, but her mom, who was obviously a bit older, was selling it. And I
Okay.
remember she we went to the place where you have to sign the papers and everything. I
Mhm.
was like, okay, that's fine. And then she gave me a wrench, and she was like, oh, this is like a good luck charm or something. I was like, okay, thank you very much. I didn't think anything of it. I took it. I was like, all right, I'll stick this in the car.
Yeah.
And then like, a few weeks, she said something weird. Like I didn't understand it, what she was saying. She was like, sometimes the signals, the alarm system doesn't quite work or whatever. I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll get it
Hmm.
sorted. It's not a big deal. But anyway, that summer, all of a sudden the car starts not starting at all. And I was like, what's going on? I just bought this, it seemed legit,
Hmm.
whatever. And we had some my intern team over. So I used to have them pushing my car to start it, right? And sometimes
Like a good intern leader.
it
Yeah.
was like 30 degrees and I was like, we're pushing it. And sometimes it would go first time, other times it would take like an hour to get her going.
Ah.
They're like, this is weird. Like what's going on? And the crazy thing is, like, for example, if you stalled the car in the middle of the road, sometimes it just wouldn't start again. So
Ah.
it's like it can't be a battery issue. There's no problem. There's like the battery's fine with it.
Yeah.
And and then we took it to mechanic. They were like, we can't find anything. I was like, okay. And then I've actually phoned the mechanic phoned the lady who sold it to me. I
Yeah.
was like, this is after pushing it like multiple times. And she was like, all you have to do is take the positive cable off the battery and stick it back on again. I was like, that sounds one like there's a system you have to do. You take the negative off first and the
Yeah.
positive.
Yeah.
But and then I tried it, and every time it would start first time.
Wow.
So obviously winter it sucked because like you had to go out, take off the top cable, and that's what the wrench was for.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like the second key for the car was to undo
Whoa.
the battery, take it off, put it on, and
But
then
that
it got.
was like a feature they put in, or it just worked like
No,
that?
obviously, like it was a immobilizer,
Okay.
which is basically it's a safety feature that usually you
Like
can like
turn on.
unlock and then
Yeah.
turn on. But obviously, it
Ah.
didn't work or whatever.
Yeah.
So like it was really weird. And then later the mechanic put a override wire,
Hmm.
which then you touch this wire to the positive cable, and it would ignite the engine. But then like all these sparks would come out and stuff. It was crazy. So I went through like a whole year of having to touch like wires to the battery to get my cars to start,
Oh
which was just,
gosh.
you talk to people about it. But yeah, that was an interesting car. A lot of fun times, getting her stuck in a forest and having to walk 7 kilometers home with a bunch of interns and then
That.
waking up the next morning and it was blocking a road for construction or something crazy
Yeah.
like that.
I remember that story.
And then it used to be a case where it used to lock and you couldn't get out of the car. Like it was just lock. And it was like, so we used to have to climb out the windows to get out of the car. And then,
Gosh.
And then there was another time where the alarm just wouldn't shut up. So every time you stepped in and turned the alarm would go off.
Yeah.
So I had to drive through the town to the mechanics with the alarm going off. And anyway, a lot of fun times with Nadezhda. But yeah, her name was Hope because I hoped it was all going to be all right.
Yeah.
And then I finally sold her just this past February for a very, very low price. It was a sad time. And I bought, shocker, another BMW.
You're locked in.
I'm locked in, but this time a 5 Series, so a little bit bigger, but already so many problems. Already bought it in February, already been in the service like 4 or 5 times. Looks like I'm going to have to change the whole motor. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
when will I learn? When will I learn?
Yeah.
But her name is Viera, which means faith in Russian. So faith that one day she's going to be okay.
Okay. Wow.
So that's my kind of history with the cars here. But
yeah.
But so it's fun. It's
go ahead. Sorry.
No.
But you're locked in, like you're loyal to the BMW.
I think so. I'm not. I don't switch sides like yourself, Joe, to the Audi.
And do you have like any tattoos or like perfect? Like, do you have outfits? Do you have a BMW outfit?
Not yet. No tattoos, no outfits.
How many BMW forums are you on? Like in an average week, do you check forums and stuff?
No. I wouldn't say I'm that crazy. I'm not that crazy. But I think if I ever go away from a BMW, it would probably be for a pickup truck. So, but they're a bit harder to find over here. But it's interesting. The culture is like there is that kind of battle in Latvia between Audi and BMW, and they don't really mix. You know, there's some kind of feud going on between them.
Yeah.
And, but I don't know. You've overcome the feud and been on both sides of the puzzle.
Yeah. So basically, I got sick of taking my car to get fixed all the time. So typically, I don't want to overgeneralize, but I would say BMW drivers in Latvia aren't the best drivers. Is that fair?
But describe what you mean by
they all think we're like in a race somewhere. That's kind of it. Yeah.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Unsafe. They may be good drivers, but they're unsafe usually.
Okay. They push the boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah. And so my logic says you're buying a car that's probably been poorly treated, like pushed to the max, to impress people, like for years on end. So
yeah.
So my thought was, there's an illusion I bought this like cheap car, but actually the amount of money I dump into it in the end is like it's absurd. So
you could have got something a lot.
So we paid more upfront for a car. Obviously felt a little safer in it. But I wasn't like, I had a friend who was, send me text #BMW power and stuff like that.
Oh wow. So yeah.
He was disappointed in me for leaving the BMW family, but I was never like locked in. Like
you weren't locked in. Okay.
No, I liked it. It was a good time, but with a kid, it was just kind of a different maybe stage of life. So.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah. You have to settle down, but it is, I think what you said there, like they are, they do push the limits a bit, and there is that mindset of, oh yeah, let's go. And I think that's as soon as the first snow comes to Latvia, you just see the streets fill with the BMWs, and you know what's going on. You know that they're going to be flying around the streets and drifting around the streets, or as you say, uncontrollable turns.
But do you do like on the lakes and stuff? See, that's a thing I could never get into. Like
I've never tried it before.
On the lake, that creeps me out.
Yeah. If I was to do that, I'd have to be 100% sure that, it's been tested.
Yeah.
They've got the drill out. They've seen how thick the ice is.
Yeah.
Because it would be scary, But I would love to try it, but
yeah. I've just seen too many Meanwhile in Russia videos where they just drop through the ice. I can
Right.
never do it, no matter
Yeah.
how thick the ice is. But yeah.
I guess you could train, like do the winter swimming training, and then you'd be ready just in case for that cold water shock.
Yeah, but tell me more about like BMW lifestyle culture. Like, tell me more. What's that like?
I don't know. I think in general there's quite a intense car culture in Latvia. I think BMWs, yeah, that's it. You know, there is a reputation with that, and people do enjoy that kind of lifestyle over here, and but there is a sense of, you know, obviously I like when I was younger, especially a teen, and I would come over and you would just like see cars lining up to do a drag race on the street, or you see in the smaller towns, or you see them drifting around like in the snow, or you know, in a car park or something. And there was
Mhm.
something quite fascinating about that as a younger guy, and you were like, oh, that's, you know, fast and furious in real life. And obviously I don't promote, you know, I like everyone to drive safe and, you know,
Oh,
stick to,
that's
you
very
know,
mature of you to
yeah,
say that.
let's not let's not promote anything
But
not
do you
legal here.
ever race like in the last few months? Have you done any of that or
Like there, like to be honest, there are times when you pull up to a red light,
yeah,
you look to your right, you see another car there, usually a BMW, another BMW,
shocker? It's a
or a
shocker.
Mercedes or an Audi.
Uh-huh.
And you get there's this distinct look in the other person's eye that you both know what's about to happen when that light turns green.
Yeah.
And you know, you do push it a little bit. Like, okay, even, you know, gain up to, you know, what the speed limit's 50 kilometers. Like,
Mhm.
even just stepping on the gas and seeing who can get there first, you know,
So you go
it's
to 50 and then you stop. Yeah?
you're going to get me in some trouble here, Joe.
Cuz
But
like 50 and then you
and
just
then I say,
go,
okay, I either won or they won, and then we just call it quits.
and you're good with that. That's
We're
enough.
good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
obviously this happens in, you know, in non-populated areas, and
Ah,
you
like
know.
on dirt roads, not you mentioned the 50, which is usually like city roads are 50, but you what is
Uh,
that?
next question. But there is, I think there definitely is a culture. And another thing I've noticed here, I don't know if you've seen it, is like people just drive to a car park their car, stand outside their car, and talk to each other.
Yep.
Like, have you seen that?
Yeah, that was something Anna's brother would like pick me up and we just go to Statoil or Circle K and like
Oh, so you've
sit.
been part of this?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That was right when I moved here. They were doing that with some of his other friends. So yeah, there was a period I was doing that. I was just
you were in the car culture.
hanging out at Statoil and drinking a Fanta and like yeah. So but
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 talk me through, because I've always wanted to be part of this, but I've never really had anyone to go with.
oh
So so shout out if any Latvians want to hang out in a car park. I'm more than willing.
yeah.
But talk me through this. Like, what did you do? Like, you just
Yeah, it's like it is a weird I mean it was a weird thing at first. It's not something I would typically do back in the States, but it's like go grab a hot dog and a drink and you just sit in your car and have a chat. It's not
okay.
uh it's like yeah, normally we'd go to a restaurant and sit and talk, but it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like the budget version of that you can just like sit and talk in the car and
But you stayed in the car. You didn't get out of the car, or were there times where you got out of the car and stood around the car and?
huh. I think mostly we would sit in the car.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, we'd sit in Statoil, get a Statoil hot dog,
yeah.
and
Sounds like a solid night.
just have a chat. So
Because you know, I drive past car parks all the time, and it's like this, yeah, just groups of people, and they're there, and they're, you know,
yeah,
socializing.
yeah,
And like you said, like in the States, obviously you said that doesn't really happen. In Scotland, that doesn't really happen either. Like the only time we would see that is a bunch of like kind of boy racers, street racers. They would all go to one car park to kind of show off their cars, and it was kind of tacky. It didn't look very good, and you didn't really want to be there. And but this is a bit different. This is more about like a place to socialize and
But about your going back to your BMWs, what is like I mentioned sound, like the sound system's important. What draws you to your what are your things that are most important in a car?
I think like to be fair, I'd say the way it handles, like I was joking about how it feels, but I really in BMWs I feel like you're kind of one with the road. I like the lower down kind of sit, like you're closer to the ground. It's but then there's this strange, like you're talking about the community. I think there is a strange community between the BMW drivers. Like actually in general, I think let's say that more general I think Latvians are very kind of observant and helpful on the roads, I guess. Like there's been times where I was out there trying to start my car by touching a wire to the battery. And I would get other BMW drivers come up to me and be like, "Oh, you need help? Is everything okay?"
Yeah.
Like that was something, people wouldn't really, okay, maybe they would do that back home, I don't know. But I've just been more for Latvians who are more generally quite reserved and maybe not so much outgoing or going up to strangers. Like cars kind of is that thing that brings people together. That's happened to me a number of times. I thought, oh, that's cool. So every time I see, a BMW or another car, I would go up to them and be like, need any help? Try and get the street creds or whatever. But
but the blinking lights, like to say thank you, is my favorite thing. One of my favorite things about living in Europe, and it's like that. The politeness on the roads is something I really appreciate here.
Does that not happen back?
No.
Oh, really?
And I think road rage in America is like
a lot worse.
A major thing. Like here, it's like people, pull up real close to you, behind you, but it's not like, they're just trying to drive fast. They're not going to like pull you over and pull a gun on you.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it just seems much more polite. But I love that. And then the weird thing is when people don't thank you, it kind of like irks me too.
Yeah.
It's like, I've grown to expect it now. So that's
so that's interesting. That must be a European thing then, because
so back home
get the four ways on.
They would do that if you like let them in to merge.
Yeah, Scotland would do that as well. So majority of people, some people, like you said, some people don't, and then you get angry and then kind of run up their bum a little bit and then but it's no, that's true. I think in general, like maybe not even just between the BMWs, but in general people are quite willing to give a helping hand to if you have car trouble.
Question. What about hitchhiking? Because that's a no-no in America.
Here we go.
Many years, and here it's like a thing still.
Here, I would say it's getting less here than it did.
It's getting less, definitely.
Like it used to be everywhere. And I know, like my early days, Dave Kinden, we've talked about him in the previous. Shout out, fellow Scottish. He used to pick up everyone as well, and that was kind of cool. I don't know. Have you picked up hitchhikers in Latvia? Or?
Every once in a while. Again, with kids and car seats, not as much an option. But had a few weird experiences. But I think it feels so innocent. Like we were like brainwashed in America that everyone hitchhiking's got a like axe and they're gonna kill you. So it's
but it also goes the other way, because we were always told never to get it, like don't get into a stranger's car because they're going to kidnap you. And it's this two little thing, which the two sides and which make it not happen at all, like
Yeah.
back home.
Yeah. Mm.
Have you ever tried hitchhiking?
No.
No.
Well, yeah, actually on the Amazing Race, like when I was an intern, we think we had to, yeah.
Oh yeah.
From city to city, I may be mixing up stories, but yeah, I have done it, but never like by choice, like to
Yeah.
travel that way. I've never done that. But I
Yeah.
have friends here that they've traveled Europe that way, and
Right.
that's
Yeah.
another,
And probably have great stories to tell from it.
yeah. Yeah.
Like I tried it once from Grobenia to Riga.
Yeah.
Me and a friend did it, and it was great.
Yeah.
Well, one, it really tested your language skills. That was back early years when I was 18 or whatever.
When you weren't crushing the Latvian language.
No, no, it'd still be a challenge right now. But you just got to meet. We had a guy the first guy who picked us up. He could only take us halfway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he sold stationery to like pencils and pens and stuff to schools and things.
Okay.
Very interesting. But he flew. We got to where we had to be very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second guy was just an older granddad, and he enjoyed the chat and really helpful, good times, and
Nice.
great experience. I kind of wish it happened more now, because there is a sense sometimes when you're driving alone, you're like, oh, pick up someone, have a little chat. Why not?
You're such a good person, Liam. That's so awesome.
I think you would do it too, though. No, obviously you said the family. And
I
stuff,
have a beard, so I automatically look a little more suspicious. So,
right. I'm also trying a little.
oh, you have one? It's maybe the webcam.
It's the lighting. Yeah, but no, yeah, hitchhiking, that is a big thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But car. So, like from 1 to 10, you would say 0, you don't care at all about cars. 10, you're like you think about it 8 hours a day. Where are you on that scale?
I would say probably a 7 or an 8.
Whoa.
But like I don't know a lot about cars, but I like cars type thing. So
Yeah.
I really, that's one thing I really like about Latvia is the car culture. People think about cars, people like to just drive around town and or hang out in a car park. Like I like that kind of that kind of style and that kind of culture. But I would love to know more, like get to know more cars. And you do learn stuff as you go, like especially if you
buy more and more BMWs, you learn.
Oh yeah, you start understanding what the sounds are, and you're like, okay, that's that problem. That's going to cost me this much. That's that problem. That's probably not too good. But yeah, it's no, but the culture is pretty big here. Well, how about you? Same question back to you. What would you say?
Yeah, that's what's so bizarre about this topic. It's like I'm like a 1. Like I don't, as long as it gets me from A to Z, point A to Z, I don't really, I kind of care what it looks like, but mostly it's just sound system and gets decent like fuel
Fuel economy.
Yeah, economy, and then
what's your driving around songs? Well, what's your go-to beats?
I have whatever's on Spotify. My kids love, like, they have their songs they always want me to play.
Yeah. No, kids are at home. Joe's gone for a drive by himself, just the streets of Riga, late night.
See, that never happens, but I have like little playlists I've made. It's not like one artist. It's just
What kind of genre? What?
Some hip hop, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Do you know I like some of that?
Yeah. What you know about Rolling Down in the Deep type stuff?
Yeah, something like that. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's going back to my rating. It's something that I just don't understand. So
right.
I think I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's like cars just aren't interesting to me.
Right.
And we live on Brīvības, where it's like all night we hear these super powerful cars driving up and down, and I was just thinking that when I was walking to a meeting, I was like, why do I not care at all about cars? So it's a weird thing. And the other thing that's interesting is in America, we care. Well, America, yeah, I'm gonna speak for all of America when I say this, but we care. I cared way more where I live versus what my car looks like, and it feels
Yeah.
like the opposite here. That there's
Yeah.
like the emphasis on your car, and you can live in a cardboard box in someone's yard, and that you're
Yeah.
fine with that. So
That's
how
such a good point, actually. Yeah. There is the car says something about your almost status, doesn't it?
yeah. So what
Yeah.
does the BMW say about your status? What let's
I think you've already summarized it. The immature boy that just who plays video games at night with his gamer headphones. I think that sums it up.
But so like what would be your dream car? Maybe that's a good question to end on. What's your dream car?
My dream car would be uh like it would be, I would say it would be a BMW.
Uh-huh.
Like probably just like a really nice like 5 series, maybe an M5 or something,
Hmm.
or a pickup truck. So probably a Chevy Silverado
Hmm.
would be nice.
Nice
Um,
one.
or a Ford F-150 or F-250. Yeah, one of those would
Hmm.
be my go-to. But you know, yeah, yeah. It's all, I don't know. That's the countryside, the country
The
influence coming
country
into my
boy.
life, the country boy. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
the hard thing is I need to balance like what is like. Do I want to be like driving a country car, or do I want to be driving a BMW, which in Latvia is like it is a community in itself, and it's like
Yeah.
you probably got it too. The like even when you were driving the BMW, like people see in a BMW, and even like the younger guys or whatever, oh, you drive a BMW, and they ask questions. They're like, what's the engine
Yeah. Yeah.
and stuff, and it's quite a good starting point in
Yeah.
Latvia.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
Yeah,
But what's your and then follow-up question, what is your playlist when you're driving through the city late at night, 50 kilometers an hour?
50. um, I'd probably go something similar to you, probably something with a bit of bass.
Oh boy.
It depends how you feel. Like, yeah, probably some rap or hip hop or
Wow.
some. Yeah, it's probably I reckon we've probably got similar playlists, to be honest. Just something with a
I
yeah.
doubt that because you also like country music.
Well,
So
that's true, but that doesn't really come out like after dark.
after dark, you
Yeah,
don't do country music.
nah,
Huh.
it's well, depends what the setting is, but
Yeah.
driving around, streets of Liepāja late at night, probably country is not the one I go for.
Got it.
So
Interesting.
do you have a dream car, or what's your game?
Yeah. Again, I mean, I would be happy with most anything, but my brother has a Jeep Cherokee. I like those.
Oh yeah,
A buddy of
yeah.
mine had one in high school, and it was cool. I like more. I'm thinking more an SUV would be the next
Oh yeah,
the next
yeah,
one because this Audi is great, but in the winter it's like it sits so low. It's with snow. It's like
yeah.
it's not very practical. So
And you're practical man now. Says the guy who's sitting on his couch with a blanket wrapped around him. You're a grown up man.
and you have your gamer headphones.
We're just
Yeah.
oh boy.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks, man. It was interesting hearing your thoughts on cars, and yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to share about cars before we wrap it up?
No, I think you know I think it is a part of the Latvian culture. I think it's a quite a big part. Obviously, different people see it differently. But I
Yeah.
think your car creates a community, or you're in a community, or like you said, there's the car park situation is actually a lot of interactions and socializing happens in or around cars or with
Hmm.
those type of people.
Yeah.
As well as the drift culture. Like we didn't really get into that a lot, but
Yeah. I
there's a
don't know
lot of
anything about that.
no,
That's why.
a
So
lot of drifters, a lot of yeah. The
yeah.
snow comes and the BMWs hit the streets. And
Yeah.
no, but I think that is. But one thing like I will highlight is that you know, kind of Latvian. I think Latvians are kind when it comes to cars and helping
Oh,
each other out on the roads. Like I think that's the
wow.
big thing, and that's what I do love is you know, one time just quickly as we like wrap up my first car, Katusha, we the exhaust fell off. We were dragging it along the road. We were in the middle. I think we were in Talsi or somewhere, and a truck driver, you know, stopped. He came over. He brought all this wires and stuff, and he got underneath the car and he was like tying it all up. And it's like,
Yep.
yeah, thanks, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So let's keep that going, Latvia. Let's keep that culture going. But yeah,
For sure. Yeah. So, yeah, if you have any other thoughts about cars, like send us a message. Like we didn't we didn't maybe prepare as much as we normally would for this one, but yeah,
if you want to hang out with us in a car park, let us know. Me and Joe will drive there
especially
and be there.
Liam. Like
No.
Liam has made it clear he wants to do that. But yeah, again, just yeah, we appreciate the support, and again, keep sending ideas what we could talk about. We have a good list, but maybe there's something we haven't thought about, and even the like, yeah, I've had people in camp say, "Hey, we really like your podcast." I'm just a little bit shocked, but it's cool. So we appreciate that. So yeah, let's be kind, Latvia, and stay kind of Latvian.
There you have it.
All right. We'll see you guys soon.
All right. Bye bye. Take care.
All right.